Let's cut across to visuals coming in of the Defence Minister Rajnath Singh. So the top leaders awaiting Lloyd Austin, the US Defense Secretary, who is visiting India for 2 days. Today, on the second day of his visit, he will be meeting his counterpart Rajnath Singh, India's Defense Minister. The UN's Defense Secretary is going to be welcomed with the Guard of Honor at Manekshaw Center in Delhi, after which he will be meeting Rajnath Singh for an official visit. India and the United States are strategic partners and have signed 3 basic agreements in the recent years. So the meeting is all set to take place. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh in the visuals here. Guard of Honor will be accorded to Lloyd Austin, the US Defense Secretary. Very, very important meeting that is taking place with India and the United States. The Defense Secretary is on a 2-day visit to the country. My colleague Shivani is joining us live on the broadcast from the spot. Shivani, we are getting in visuals of the Union Defence Minister there, and Lloyd Austin, the US Defence Secretary, also expected in just a few moments.
Certainly, Lloyd Austin, the Defence Secretary from United States, will be here at the Manekshaw Center where we are present right now, and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is already here to welcome Lloyd Austin. This is a very important meeting of both these counterparts because, you know, India and United States share a strong strategic partnership. And today, when both the ministers meet, there will be discussion on the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commencing visit to United States that starts from 22nd of June. Apart from that, we know that both the countries are also working on the United States, GE and India's HAL joint venture on the engines for the India-made Tejas aircraft. So this will also be discussed, and India and United States are also part of the Quad strong partnership. So this will also be discussed here, that what is happening around Indian Ocean region and how India and US can further strengthen their military and strategic partnerships. So the Guard of Honor will be given to Lloyd Austin as he arrives here, and thereafter Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Lloyd Austin would be undergoing a bilateral talk in this Manekshaw Center itself, and they'll be discussing crucial issues including the upcoming projects between India and US, and there's also a exhibition planned in United States around the 25th of June, 25th of June, and that will also be discussed by both the ministers.
Okay, all right. So the New Delhi visit is going to focus largely on India-US new defense innovation and industrial cooperation initiatives. Like you mentioned, defense pacts are going to be one of the most crucial agendas of this visit. Shivani? All right, we'll try and reconnect that line with Shivani, but we continue to get you live visuals from the spot. Remember, this visit is going to focus on advancing India and US new defense innovation and industrial cooperation initiatives, and also, of course, continuing the efforts to expand the operational cooperation between the United States and the Indian militaries. US has often spoken of the importance and the significance of India as an ally. In fact, before this visit as well, an official statement had been released saying the visit provides an opportunity to accelerate new defense innovation and industrial cooperation initiatives to drive ongoing efforts to expand operational cooperation between US and Indian militaries. Shivani, back with us. Shivani, like you were mentioning, the important agenda is, of course, going to be on innovation in the defense sector, something that India has also spoken of, and of course the US as well, in strengthening the ties with India.
See, India has been working on a lot of innovation projects of late because it depends. It wants to procure its arms and ammunitions itself because it wants to be Atmanirbhar. And India and US are collaborating in the sense that many jets which are being made in India, some parts which were till now being taken from other countries, and US also, now the technology transfer has to take place. All these parts will also be made in India. And for that matter, a lot of innovations that are taking place in India are also attracting other countries like US, like many drones which are being now developed in India are also likely to be used by United States. So there would be an exhibition, there would be a program in United States, and about that also the discussions would be made out here in today's meeting. That's very important agenda, of course, of today's meeting. Apart from that, when both the defense ministers meet, they will certainly talk about what's happening around the boundaries of India, what's happening in the Indian Ocean region, and how India and US can take these strategic ties further, because we've seen how US has been supportive of India, of the India-China tussle also. India has been getting support from many countries, and United States has been one of them. Many joint exercises are also taking place with the United States. We've seen in Oli the Yuddha had taken place. So today when Lloyd Austin will be meeting Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, certainly they'll be discussing how to strengthen their military ties, the strategic partnership, and much more that's coming up with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi's event in United States.
Right. Like you mentioned, of course, the highlight is also going to be that the visit comes ahead of Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to the White House in June. In fact, several firsts, as well as Prime Minister Modi is also going to be addressing the joint house of the US Congress. And of course, Joe Biden also in his previous interaction with Prime Minister Modi has spoken about the kind of popularity that the Prime Minister enjoys.
Yes, certainly we've seen how Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been welcomed in United States in past few visits, and I'll keep showing you the visuals because the Secretary of Defense from United States will be shortly here, and he'll be given a guard of honor. All the preparations are done, but certainly while we talk and we show these visuals, it's very important to mention out here that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity not only in many other nations but in United States has grown, and that shows how the perception about India has changed in these countries, in United States especially, how the military ties are enhancing, how the exercises are now increasing in numbers, how the collaborations are being done in terms of military partnerships, strategic partnerships, and the innovations that we'll see in United States in the coming event in the end of this month. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be in United States, he will also be addressing the important houses out there, and he will also be meeting dignitaries there. So this visit of the United States Secretary of Defense comes as a backgrounder, because when PM will be visiting US, very important defense ties will be discussed in that particular meeting. So when Rajnath Singh will be meeting here at the Manekshaw Center with Lloyd Austin, certainly the discussions will be done about the innovations, about the engines for the jets that India plans to make in India. We'll keep showing you the shots. Lloyd Austin is just here, and he will be welcomed by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, and thereafter the Guard of Honor will be done. And after the Guard of Honor, he will be meeting the Defense Minister at the Manekshaw Center. Very likely we'll also see a joint statement after the discussions are done, that what has happened, what all issues have been discussed. And you see this carcade of the Defense Secretary of United States has already arrived out here at the Manekshaw Center. He is being given a grand welcome out here, and he has already visited India. In fact, this is his second visit. He has already visited India. He had met Defense Minister, and we know that India and United States have already signed agreements like BECA, LEMOA, and many other treaties are being looked into for enhancing the maritime partnership also in the Indian Ocean region, and the military ties also. And you see the Defense Secretary from United States has already arrived. He's being welcomed by Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, CDS General Anil Chauhan.
All right, we'll just try and reconnect that line with Shivani, but we continue to get you these live visuals from the spot as the Defense Secretary has just arrived there. He would be accorded a Guard of Honor in a short while from now, but the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh welcoming him as he has just arrived here at the Manekshaw Center in the national capital. A lot on the agenda. Remember, Prime Minister Modi is going to be visiting the United States later this month, and just before the Prime Minister's visit to the US, a powerful congressional committee has also recommended strengthening NATO Plus by including India in a move to deter China. So a lot expected, not just in this visit of the US Defense Secretary to India, but also when Prime Minister Modi visits the United States later this month. So the U.S. Defense Secretary is on a short visit to India. It's a 2-day visit to India, but he is on a 4-nation trip, after which he will be heading to France and will take part in several events commemorating the 79th anniversary of D-Day, and also meet with French and UK defense leaders. So this is part of his 4-nation tour.
आपके निरीक्षण के लिए हजरत।
All right, going back to Shivani for that update. Shivani, take us through the live visuals of the updates at the spot. All right, we'll go back to Shivani in just a moment. So these are the live visuals coming in after being accorded the Guard of Honor. The discussions are all set to begin now. It's a very key and crucial meeting ahead of Prime Minister Modi's visit to the United States later. The Defense Secretary visiting India for 2 days, and on the second day of his visit he will be meeting Rajnath Singh for a detailed discussion. The strategic partners India and the United States have signed 3 basic agreements in the recent years. Shivani back online with us. Shivani, take us through what's expected after being accorded the Guard of Honor. Now the meeting all set to take place.
See, after the Guard of Honor, Lloyd Austin has already proceeded for a bilateral talk with Defence Minister Rajnath Singh at the Manekshaw Centre in Delhi. And this is a short but a very crisp and important meeting which both the ministers will be holding. They will be discussing the forthcoming events in United States about the innovations and collaborations by both the countries. And they will also be discussing the strategic ties, the military ties between both the nations, and how Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be holding very important meetings in United States in his visit, which starts around 22nd of June, and thereafter the events that will be commencing in the United States. We know that United States and India are strong partners of the Quad, and they have been conducting drills in the Indian Ocean region and also on land. We've seen in Oli how the Yuddhabhyas was going on between India and United States close to the LAC. And if we talk about the LAC issue, also US has been supportive of India in terms of supplying with the winter clothing, the other things, and also speaking on the global forum for India. And today, when the Defense Secretary from United States and Defense Minister Rajnath Singh meet, they will be certainly discussing the situation along the borders and also the Indian Ocean region and how India is handling the situation. And not only this, the important partnership between India and US in terms of collaborating in for the engines of Tejas that are being made in India, and they will be made together by the transfer of technology from GE and HAL in India, because we know there's a lot of focus on make in India for the defense in India. We've seen the list of equipment that will be not imported from the countries, but it will be made in India. So all these innovations will also be discussed out here, and so many equipment and weapons that are now made in India are also being made for the world. So United States is also interested in a lot of innovation that's taking place in India, including the drone systems that are being developed in India. So a lot is to be discussed out here in this meeting that is starting shortly, as we've seen how the Defense Secretary, after his guard of honor, has proceeded in the Manekshaw Center.